I'm already talking, and I was watching me like at 17, the video that was like 17 things I learned at 17, and I am a dark blob. Oh no, I'm wearing my outdoor pants and I just sat on my bed. Here. I'm gonna take the light. And sit in front of it. This is so aesthetic. Oh my god. This is like the light I used in my music video, the Pilot Jones music video. That's so amazing. I'm so happy I did it. It's such a good video. Anyways. I don't know how to make it not go in my... Oh, there. Now it's not going in my face. But what I wanted to share was the story I shared to people in my life already. And that story is about why I am done. I'm not scared to death. I am... Honestly, I'm not gonna say looking forward to it because I love I love my life. I love having a body. But like it comes. And for me, it was because I have epilepsy and I had my last seizure before I went on medication, and I'm on medication now, and I've never had a seizure since I started it, so I'm all good now. But the last seizure I had, I remember waking up. I just want to document this so that like this story's like out of me and like I can watch it back because it's in my head. It just kind of comes up in conversations a lot. But so I had my last seizure. This was probably like a year and a half, a year ago. And yeah, a year ago. Wow. A year. Wow. So much happened since. But so I had my seizure. I remember I woke up. It was like 7 in the morning, 6:37 in the morning, and I knew I had a seizure because I peed myself and because I had the same headache I had during my other seizures. It's like where the front of your head feels like it's like splitting open, like it's this, and like the side of your head, it just feels like your whole brain's like splitting open. I guess it's because like the electrical charges or whatever like exploded and misfired. That's like what causes seizures. But I woke up and I look around, like I can say I saw everything for the first time, but I recognized that it was a room, and I recognized that this was a life, and I recognized that this is a place, but that's about it. And I crawled out of my bed into my beanbag and I text my friend, I think because she texted me, I don't even remember how, but I was like, I think I just had a seizure. She was like, oh, like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. And then I sat there really hard and tried to remember my name. Like, you know, when people get concussions, they ask them like what year it is or whatever. I think I knew what year it was. I didn't know my name. I sat there and I didn't want to cheat. I knew I could go into my like phone and like see it. Like I had an awareness of things, of a world, of a place, of a room, and that like it's here. And I knew how to navigate it. But it looks like my face is just floating. Like the ghost from Spirited Away. But yeah, I tried to remember my name and I couldn't. And I remember having this like instinct that I should be scared because it's not like the programming for my brain like fully went away, but it's like it's kind of creepy just looking at my face like I'm floating. I'm not gonna lie. But I felt like a part of me was like, oh, like you should. And then I was like, no, this is peaceful. And I didn't know my name and it was peaceful. And I remember the sun was rising. I looked out of my window and I was like, this is it. This is all. Oh my God, I just noticed the inside of my glasses. What? It says something on the inside of them, like on the frame here, because it's like transparent, translucent or whatever. It says it's always summer on the inside. What? I didn't know my glasses said that. What? What the fuck? You learn something new every day. Anyways, so yeah, it was peaceful and the headache was still there. Like it was splitting. It's god awful. But I wasn't suffering. I wasn't like, oh, my headache. I was peace. And I remember just knowing that I went to the place that people go when they die. And I said this to my parents and they were like, oh, it's just, your brain, your brain, like, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. They were like trying to dismiss it. I was like, what do you mean? Like, anyways, I wish I could give this feeling to other people. I was talking to a girl I met in university. I was like, I wish people could feel what I felt, because then everyone would know there's nothing to be afraid of. Absolutely nothing. Everything that is perpetuated is from the fear of death, from the fear and like we're told we don't have resources, and that's why everything's driven by profit. It's like more, we need more. There isn't enough. First of all, nature provides. There's always enough for people. There is enough for people as it is like in nature, but also like, oh man, did I lose my train of thought? I'm doing the thing here right now where I kind of step out of myself and I'm like, whoa, I'm thinking, what if I forget how to think and what I'm thinking? Like, I think I talked about that in one video. I think it was like called First World Problem, where that happens to me sometimes when I'm in conversations with people. It's been happening less and less because I kind of acknowledge it and like, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Let it be. And I kind of just like, it kind of passes, but that's kind of what happened here. And it makes me like, it doesn't make me like nervous like it used to, but it's still there and it just happened. But we're told that we need more, and we need more because if we don't have more, we won't, like, what's gonna happen if we don't have more? What's gonna happen if we don't work? What's gonna happen if we, we're not gonna have food, we're not gonna have shelter, and then what? We're gonna die. So that's why we work, so that we have food, so we have shelter, that it's like our birthright to have those things. Not only to have those things, but to be happy and to not live in the way that everything is set up for us to live in. But everything is driven out of this fear of dying, and this fear of like, oh no, I don't have a job, so I'm gonna die. And again, I feel like the way I'm speaking comes from so much space and so much time that I am so grateful to have had. I still currently do, and I was able to not live at home, because when I lived at home, I tried really hard, like in my older videos, like tried really hard to cultivate space and time and love, but it really didn't elevate and get to a place, like to this deeper place that I'm in now. And I know it'll just get deeper the older I get and the more I live, but it wouldn't have gotten to this place if I still lived at my parents' house. And people are in such different places, and I wish everyone, no matter where you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter what situation you're in, I wish people knew there's nothing to be afraid of. Absolutely, like, oh. Anyways, I felt so peaceful after that experience, and I kind of slept the rest of the day, like slept my headache off because it was, I think I went to the hospital. I don't remember. I remember like I couldn't even look at light, like, but I didn't care. I didn't care that I was in all this pain physically and whatever, because there was this more transcendent peace coming through me. And I knew that the physical things were going to be over. And this sounds like everything I say in all the videos that like I post, and this is basically all I really think about. I try not to think though. That's like, I'm trying not to think. Oh, and the biggest thing, this is like off the seizure thing and more on like actually where I am now, because I literally just made the video of like there is no inner outer world. Separate from that, I don't really want to. I am that person that does what they say. I used to not be. I used to say a lot of things and just to, I guess it was to please people, because I think people want me to do this, to do that, to, it was 11:11 on my timer. Timer like video recorder. People want to, like, for example, let me give an example because I can't think of anything tangible. Like, I feel like if I go a day without, because I live with my grandma, if I go a day without really speaking to her because I'm in my room working or just watching videos or relaxing or napping, like I napped today for like 3 hours, then not anymore, but I used to feel just guilty. I'm like, oh, I should talk to her or whatever. But then I was like, who's telling me this? I don't have to do anything. I'm like, oh, but like she lets you stay here. I'm like, I don't owe anybody anything. The only thing you really owe, if you're gonna use that kind of language, is love and respect. That's it. That's it. And for me, talking, particularly my relationship with speaking out loud, has been difficult, but because of that, it's been the most transformative. Like, I couldn't speak when I was a kid. I couldn't speak. I was terrified of speaking to other people. And when I did, and I actually shared what I liked, it was made fun of, or it wasn't what people like. And the thing is, again, it was just the places I was in. Like, I tried to show my volleyball team, like when I was like 13, My Chemical Romance, and they listened to like, it was like 2018, and it was like Sicko Mode was playing, a lot of Ariana Grande, and I liked those songs too. And we would listen, we would sing them, we would dance to them. But for some reason, like when I shared not just My Chemical Romance, I swear to God, I put Taylor Swift on like our team playlist, and they still were like, who put this on? And I'm like, guys, you can't like relax. Like, it's Taylor fucking, like, I'm sorry. I understand My Chemical Romance can be kind of hard on some people's ears if you don't like listen to rock, or you don't grow up, or not even, I don't know. If you're closed off, I understand maybe a little more. But Taylor Swift, everywhere. Taylor Swift is everywhere. Everyone listens to Taylor Swift. There's one Taylor Swift song you like. Like, I don't believe a person who's like, I don't like Taylor Swift. No, there's at least one song that you like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know any of her new stuff, but I'm sorry. There's at least one song you like. Anyways. Yeah, I just felt like anytime I tried to share, and it took a lot of effort for me because I just felt like I couldn't speak. I remember when I used to figure skate and I really wanted to quit. Like, I got really badly injured. I broke my ankle and I did not want to go back. And my mom was like being like, when it was like, was trying to get me back on the ice as fast as possible. I was like, Mom, like, I don't. She's like, you're saying that just because of your injury. Like you have to let yourself heal, and you have to like try to get back into it. And if you get back into it and you don't like it, then okay, quit. But I was like, I know I don't want to. I just don't want to go through this process. Like, I don't want to go through this pain that I don't have to go through. Anyways, I remember before telling her that I wanted to quit, just like the idea of it, like, I remember sitting there for an hour. Like, I remember exactly where I was sitting. I remember exactly what I was feeling. I was like 10 years old, and I was sitting there for an hour straight in silence. And my mom was like, what do you want? And I'm like, I. And I was crying and I was like, and she's like, what is it? I'm like, I have to say something. And like for an hour, I couldn't. She's like, spit it out. I'm like, like, I couldn't. And I felt that way so much of my life. Like I, I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak what I want, what I feel. I couldn't, it just wouldn't come out of me. And because I've worked on that and every single day, not worked, I work. It takes work. It takes, but not work. It's like, oh, work. It's like, this is for me. And I'm devoted to this because I know this is bringing me closer to me. And in effect, closer to other people. So yeah, talking. What was there even like a point I was trying to make with that, or was that just like a sharing moment? I feel like the seconds right now are going by really fast on the count. It's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like it's going by so fast, and I can see the numbers switch way faster, which is crazy because it's like, you know, like time goes by faster, time goes by slower relative to like what you're doing or like how you feel. And it's true. But like sometimes I literally look at the clock, like the number change, and it's actually changing faster. Or sometimes it's actually changing like really, really slow. Like when you're doing a plank or something and you're watching the timer. Like it's not just like a feeling, it's like an actual visual, like thing, perception that's like actually physical, that changes. Even though time doesn't change, time is the same. Which is crazy. I used to think about, I'm like, I go into work, my shifts are 4 hours long. Some shifts are so fucking busy, and I get more tips, but they're so busy, and the amount of work I do is so disproportionate to even how much I get paid, which is a whole different thing. Like, it can be said about everything right now. I have people working. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna go eat bread and cheese and then go to sleep. But yeah, and then some days that I just do nothing because it's not busy and I get paid the same. And days when it's busy, time goes by really fast. And I'm like, oh, it's already done. And then when days aren't busy, those 4 hours can feel like 8. And I'm like, I'm getting paid the same for different sensations and feelings of time. It doesn't matter that the number was 4. The feeling of time was so drastically different, but I'm getting paid the same. What the fuck? I think I thought about this like a year or something ago. I just remembered that. I don't think about that anymore. I just go and get my money and leave. But yeah. Thoughts, don't even know. Good night. This is me.